Hey everybody, how's it going? Travel Man Dan here, and welcome to today's episode of Reading Man Dan. Today's going to be such a fun episode. As we bring in the spring season, I got a great book to read to you called Valentino The Love Bunny and How He Came to Be. Really excited about reading this book, so sit back, relax, and get ready for the show. Let's go. Hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out today's episode. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that sub button right there. Ring the notifications bell so you're notified when new episodes come out each and every week. Now let's go ahead and get started. So, ladies and gentlemen, children around the world, please let me introduce to you Valentino the Love Bunny. Yes, look at Valentino, so cute, so soft, and so cuddly. Aw, Valentino. Valentino is going to go ahead and hang out with us throughout the duration of reading this book. A big special thanks to the author, MARGARITA FAIRBANKS, who I met sometime last year and introduced me to Valentino and to her wonderful books. So thank you so much, MARGARITA, and now let's go ahead and get started. Valentino the Love Bunny. That's you. By MARGARITA FAIRBANKS. Illustrations by Susan Duvall. The sun drifted lazily across the sky, signaling the end of another perfect afternoon at the little pet shop by the sea. What made this place so special was that the animals lived side by side. Except for those who were too small and delicate, they roamed freely within the shop. There was George, the beautiful Sarama rooster, Kip, the gray kitty, who never shied from customers and was always the first to say hello, and Houdini, the chameleon, who could be found lounging on a limb. There was also a newcomer, a little white rabbit with black ears, a black heart around one eye, and on another his cheek. The animals were happy together here, and even though they were different species, they shared one very powerful bond. They were all waiting to find their forever homes. George fancied himself the one in charge, and had spent most of the afternoon perched on the bunny enclosure. He had gone out of his way to make our new friend feel welcome, knowing the little bunny might feel lonely in this unfamiliar place. The only thing that broke the steady harmony was the chime of bells as the shop door opened and closed. At the sound of all the animals would come to attention, waiting to see who had entered and what it might mean. And the bells were chiming now. "Hello," said the shopkeeper to the lady entering the store. "How is my dear animal lady?" They had known each other for a long time, as the animal lady was a frequent visitor to the shop. "I was hoping you would come in," said the shopkeeper. She knew that the animal lady had long dreamed of adding a buddy to her family and could hardly contain her excitement as they turned toward the small pet enclosure. "There is someone very special I want you to meet. George has been keeping an eye on him the last couple of days, but I think maybe he has been waiting for you." The animal lady smiled radiantly upon her first glimpse at the sweet black and white bunny. "Hello, little one," she said to the bunny as his eyes turned to face her and he raised himself up onto his back legs to get a closer sniff. "There is something special about this bunny," the shopkeeper said. "Even Kip thinks so." Kip the kitty ran his body through the animal lady's legs, meowing as if in agreement, while George clucked protectively. "May I hold him?" asked the animal lady. "Of course, but be careful of his claws. Bunnies can kick if they are frightened." The shopkeeper helped her to gently pick up this tiny baby with the mark of love around his eye. She closed her eyes, and what she felt in her hands was pure love, soft and warm, a feeling of complete and total peace. The bunny gently sniffed at the animal lady's fingers and gave a little lick kiss to her thumb. "What a love bunny!" exclaimed the animal lady. And in that instant, she knew that this was the very bunny she had been dreaming of. "Do you believe in destiny?" she asked the shopkeeper. "That something is meant to be? This bunny has to come home with me. He absolutely must." The animal lady gently put the bunny down and wiped away a tear of joy that had fallen from her eye. Excitement filled the air. The little bunny had found a forever home. The shopkeeper helped the animal lady gather up all the supplies she would need for her new bunny's care: hay and bunny pellets for food, a fleece pillow and blanket to make a cozy bed, litter and a litter box for a bunny potty, and a bunny condo to put all these things in. The other animals watched all the commotion, knowing that soon they would have to say goodbye to their little friend. "Goodbye, friends," he sighed softly, as the animal lady gathered her bags of supplies in one hand and the bunny in the other. The chiming of the bells on the door was heard once more, and the little pet shop by the sea bid farewell to the little white furball with black ears and black hearts on his face. Aw, bet you're going to miss your friends over there at the pet shop, aren't you? The animal lady put the bunny into her car, where another member of the family, Sparky, a little Chihuahua Terrier mix, was peacefully napping on the back seat. He was roused as the bunny's carrier was placed next to him, and yawning loudly, he turned to give a sleepy sniff at the little black and white rabbit inside. The bunny felt shy, but was curious to know who was this. "Hello, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Dog." Sparky yawned again, and wagged his tail. "Hi there, my name is Sparky. Are you coming home with us?" "I am." "What is home like?" the bunny asked enthusiastically. "It's wonderful," said Sparky between yawns, then added, "For now, I think maybe we should nap." Sparky didn't want to be rude, but the rocking of the moving car was sending him back to sleep. "Home," he mumbled. "Home, sweet home." Sparky likes a good nap in the car. Sparky was asleep again and dreaming of his own journey home. It was only a few months before. He didn't remember a lot of his puppy days, but he did remember wandering alone, lost in the nearby hills. He was scared, but he kept walking and barking to keep his spirits up. Thankfully, someone heard him and took him to the local pet shelter. It was there that he met the animal lady. After one look at him, said, "This was meant to be. You absolutely must come home with me." Sparky sighed, happily as he slept. The late afternoon sunlight warmed the bunny as the car drove on, but he was too excited to nap. He imagined what home would look like, and who else he might meet. He also thought about his friends at the pet shop that had been left behind. Would they find a home too? With someone like the animal lady? When she held him in her hands, he felt a wave of happy energy flow from her, which made him feel happy and safe. He wasn't sure what caused that good feeling, but kissing her hand felt like the right thing to do in return. His bunny instincts told him that he could trust and love this person, even though they had just met. In no time, they arrived at their final destination, home sweet home. When the door opened, the trio were greeted by two big, black, fluffy, standard poodles, a father and a son named Myro and Luca. The two dogs jumped with excitement as they could smell the arrival of someone new. It was unlike anything they had ever smelled. "Who is in the box?" they yelped at one another. "Quiet down, boys, calm down. It's time to be gentle," said the animal lady. As soon as the two dogs settled down, she took the little bunny out of the carrier and placed him on the floor, inviting first Myro, then Luca to come and say hello. Sniff, sniff, sniff. A new member of the family has arrived. The little bunny again felt shy. These dogs were much bigger than he was. Their noses tickled his whiskers and fur as they smelled his little face, and the bunny decided it would be best to hold as still as possible. "Hello there. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Dog and Mr. Dog." The little bunny was anxious to make a good first impression. "What a very polite bunny you are. Welcome to the family. I'm Miro, and this is my son, Luca. What is your name?" The little bunny didn't know what to say. He didn't have a name. He looked up at Miro, who immediately understood. "Don't worry, little one. The animal lady will sort you out," said Miro lovingly, and to make the bunny feel more welcome, he gave him a few grooming licks. This took the bunny by surprise and made him instantly recall the happy memory of the grooming licks he had received from his own mother that calmed him and made him feel loved. The bunny now knew that he had been accepted and was truly a part of this family. Miro and the bunny turned and gazed at the animal lady, who had been giving it quite a bit of thought. It was clear from the start that the bunny's appearance would have a lot to do with his name. It's not very common to be born with a beautiful black heart around one eye. She looked at his sweet face, and the first thing that came to her mind was, "Valentine! Valentine!" Somehow, that didn't sound just right. She looked at him again and thought, "Valentino!" That sounded so much nicer, and it was a name associated with love, which fit perfectly with his heart markings. That was it, Valentino the Love Bunny, because you are such a loving bunny. What do you think? The animal lady picked up a little bunny and stroked him gently between his ears. He nuzzled her cheek, then turned to Miro and Luca and said, "My name is Valentino the Love Bunny." Now, Valentino didn't know this, but he had not yet met all the members of his new family. It wouldn't do to bring a new family member home and not make all the proper introductions. So the animal lady put Valentino into his carrier and walked him over to a nearby barn. Valentino could smell dirt, straw, and wood shavings, and saw a new animal that he had never seen before. The animal lady took him out of the crate, and the next thing he knew, he was nose to nose with a horse. Horses have big nostrils, and strong flow of air coming in and out of those nostrils was hot, like warm breeze, right in Valentino's face. You might certainly have thought that Valentino would be afraid, but no, he was not afraid. He was interested in this beautiful animal. Horses and rabbits have an excellent sense of smell, and these two were busy getting to know each other through their noses. All right. "Welcome to the family, little one. My name is Panderato," said the horse. "I'm Valentino the Love Bunny. It's very nice to meet you," replied Valentino, who instantly took a liking to his new brother. They continued to sniff one another, and when Valentino said, "I smell hay. Is that what you eat?" "Yes," said Panderito. "And you smell like hay too. Is that what you eat?" "Yes, I love hay, so I guess we have more in common than we could have imagined." Panderito gathered a mouthful of hay from his feeding bin and shared a snack with the newest member of his family. After a short visit, the animal lady took Valentino back inside. She set up his bunny condo and prepared his first dinner. Rabbits are vegetarians, which means they don't eat meat, chicken, or fish. The main food in their diet is hay, but they also need fresh vegetables every day. Valentino hopped happily to his food tray where a feast of organic kale, parsley, dandelion greens, cilantro, and dill was waiting for him. Whoa! Valentino ate his greens and a little hay, then washed it all down with some cool, clear water. Valentino felt so content. He started thinking of what a big day it had been. Sparky was right. Home was wonderful. Valentino loved his new family with all his heart. He curled up in his new bed, sighed dreamingly, and within moments was fast asleep. The days passed quickly in Valentino's world, and soon he was no longer a baby bunny. That's not to say that he still wasn't very small, but he was now big enough to wander by himself in the house and garden. Valentino spent most of his days playing and having fun. He had lots of toys that kept him busy, and many that he loved to chew. A pine cone, a toy carrot, a willow basket, and even the odd bit of furniture here and there, although the animal lady didn't like that so much. All that chewing helped to keep Valentino's teeth from growing too long, because rabbit teeth continue to grow throughout their entire life. Hay is the most important food in a rabbit's diet because it has lots of important nutrients, but also because it has lots of fiber. Chewing through the tough grass helped to keep Valentino's teeth the perfect size. Valentino's favorite meal of the day was breakfast. This was the time when he would enjoy a small bowl of the yummiest fresh fruit of the season, diced just the right size for his little mouth. Bananas, the best, then papaya, which was so good for his digestion and made him smell sweet. Blueberries, apples, cherries, and pears, white peaches, when they were in season, were his favorite treat of all. After every meal, he licked his tiny little lips with his tiny pink tongue. Valentino was learning how necessary a good diet was, and that all the organic fruit and vegetables he ate gave him great energy throughout the day. He wondered what mealtime must be like for the rabbits that lived in the wilderness that had to forage for every bite. They did not have the comforts and the ease of life that he had. Valentino knew that he was one lucky bunny, and he was grateful for everything. It would be fair to say that Valentino was a very good bunny. But there was one time a day when he was naughty, and that was bedtime. It was perfectly understandable in his opinion. Valentino was able to play freely throughout the day in his home and garden, and even though he loved his bunny condo, he did not want his freedom or his fun to end. Valentino was so sensitive that he knew his 8 o'clock bedtime was coming even before the clock struck. He always knew before the animal lady even had a chance to say, "Time for bed, boys." He would begin a nightly game of chase. Valentino would run first under the living room couch, then under the dining room table, back under the couch, into the bedroom, under the bed, back to the living room, and under the couch, again under the dining table, all to keep from going to bed. Valentino was a fast runner, but this was one game the animal lady always won. Sometimes she needed help, but Valentino always ended up in her loving arms. His little heart would be racing from all the activity, and the animal lady worried that he would overexert himself. Rabbits are very delicate, so they have to be treated carefully, gently, and most of all, calmly. The animal lady followed these rules, but bedtime was bedtime, and she had to be firm. Besides, every time Valentino was scooped up in her arms, he also got smothered with kisses, and this felt good, very good. Yes, it was fun to play chase, but once he was in his soft, warm, cozy bed, he would settle in happily for the night. Valentino adapted well to life with his new family. He had 4 new brothers, 3 dogs and a horse, a loving human family, which included the animal lady, her husband, their children, and their grandchildren, 15 in all. He especially loved the babies aged 2, 3, 4, and 5, who had by now given him many names, the most common being Tino, but they called him Tiny and Teenerton as well. In fact, you could often hear a little voice shriek, "It's Tino time!" These nicknames made him feel special, as did they. He knew he was part of something important, a family filled with love. He had a beautiful place to live full of wonder. His garden was like a jungle, bursting with color and life. There were flowers, plants, and trees of all shapes and sizes that were also home to froggies, birds, and bees. Yes, he thought, he was truly on top of the world. Still, Valentino had feelings inside himself he couldn't make sense of. He felt there was more to life than just having fun. He wanted to have a purpose, a way to share the happiness he felt every day. As he lay pensively on the cool grass in the shade of some brilliant irises, he asked his froggy friends, "Why am I so lucky? Why am I so blessed?" The froggies were moved by this unusual-looking bunny with hearts so clearly marking his eye and cheek, and tried to help. "Well, have you ever looked at yourself in a mirror?" asked one of the frogs. "A mirror?" said Valentino. "What answers will I find there?" "A mirror," said the other frog, "will show you what you look like. Maybe, if you could see yourself, you will find an answer in what you see." "Oh," said Valentino, "thank you. I'll give it a try." And he knew then and there that the next thing he had to do was find a mirror. Valentino rushed back inside the house, where he found Sparky in the living room looking somewhat anxious. "Is everything all right, Sparky?" asked Valentino. "I accidentally knocked over a flower vase," answered Sparky, "and I'm afraid the animal lady is going to be very angry with me." "I can see that you're worried, but you shouldn't be," said Valentino. "The animal lady loves you more than some vase, and besides, accidents happen. Anyway, you know how I like to nibble on the wooden baseboards, and the animal lady has never gotten upset at me." And this was true, because the animal lady understood that was part of a bunny's nature. That chewing is what bunnies need to do. Sparky felt reassured. "Thank you, Valentino. You really know how to make a pup feel better." Sparky thought that Valentino had a special way of giving love, and was glad to have him as a brother. Feeling that Sparky was at ease, Valentino now turned his full attention to the beautiful antique mirror next to one of his favorite nibbling spots. It wasn't as if he hadn't seen the mirror. He had just never given it much thought. Now he gave it a good long look and contemplated his reflection in it. Soon enough, he focused on two things in particular: the heart shapes on his face. He said to himself, "I wonder why I have these two hearts on my face. I have never seen hearts like this on anyone else." This was curious indeed, but the more he thought about it, the more he thought it was no accident. The froggies had said he might find the answer to his questions in the mirror. And when he looked at these hearts, he somehow felt they were related to finding his purpose. "Those hearts are a sign of love," he thought, "and my name is Valentino the Love Bunny." Valentino knew he had found a powerful clue that left him a lot to think about. Valentino was deep in thought when he heard the door open and the animal lady entered the room. The moment he saw her, he could sense that something was wrong. "Tino, come here, Teeny." She sat on the floor next to him and waited for him to approach. Valentino hopped onto her crossed legs and was gently lifted into a warm embrace. Valentino could feel the animal lady's heart beating quickly, but as he nuzzled her, he felt it slow down. He sensed that he brought comfort with his softness, stillness, and warmth, and though Valentino was not yet sure of his purpose, the animal lady certainly was. She knew that any time she felt sad, anxious, or upset, she could just hold Valentino close in a little special nook that was just for him. She placed him under her neck, next to her cheek, and over her heart. And very quickly, she would feel happy again. That feeling of love spread through her and dissolved any sadness she had. As Valentino lay nestled in the comfort of the animal lady's arms, he listened to her coo. You are the love bunny. Valentino, you are the love bunny. Slowly, the pieces to his puzzle began to fit together. He reflected upon his journey and recalled all the love and kisses he received, not just at bedtime, but all the time, and not just from the animal lady, but from all his family. He thought about the hearts on his face and his special name. That's it! Valentino realized he had the ability to make others feel love. Now, he understood without a shadow of doubt that spreading love was his purpose. Little did Valentino know his life was about to unfold into a great adventure. However, he was sure of one thing. His purpose was to spread love all along the way. Wow. That is the end. Valentino the Love Bunny. Alright, what a beautiful story. Well, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Ring the notifications bell so you're notified when new episodes come out each and every week. Go ahead, give me a like on this video. Drop me down a comment down below. Let me know what you liked about this book, or if you can go ahead and suggest another book for me to read here on Reading Man Dan. What a great story. I just wanted to point out a couple of quick things in the book before we go ahead and close out the show. At the end of this book, they got something really cool. Well, Margarita has added a little glossary. If we take a look at this glossary, it goes ahead and takes some of the words that we went ahead and read throughout this book, and it's highlighted and it gives you a little bit of definition. Back here, we have a little bit about Margarita and the illustrator, Susan. So really fun, really great book. I'll be sure to go ahead and put down in the description if you want to go ahead and check this book out, how you can get it. Well, that's gonna do it for us today. I hope you saw something fun and cool, like Valentino the Love Bunny. What an amazing animal, what a beautiful animal, and I hope that you enjoyed this story. I hope you learned something new and interesting, like how Valentino was able to look in the mirror and find out what the meaning of his life was, how he was able to go ahead and spread love and give love back to those who needed it. But most of all, I hope you were inspired to go ahead and read this book yourself, Valentino the Love Bunny and How He Came to Be. Or maybe watch this episode again. You're going to absolutely love it. It's got a beautiful message. The moral of the story is magnificent. This is part 1 of a 3-part series, so stay tuned throughout the year as I will go ahead and read the other 2 books in this series. Thank you so much, Margarita. I'm Travel Man Dan, aka Reading Man Dan, and remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it.